What's going on, guys? I feel like the Spirit is leading me today to talk about basically the things that are on my mind right now, because I'm going to assume those things are probably on yours. Some of those things, to me, are going to be, man, there's a lot, right? Rumors of wars, absolute wars. We're watching it like crazy. You can't really watch a news channel, you know, because they're all going to tell you what you want to hear. And honestly, everything's so AI that you wouldn't even know if I'm real, right? Like, it's crazy. But I can tell you right now that I am stuck down here with you. So we may all have worked our asses off to be where we're at. And many of us may have a lot to lose by making these videos. And those are the people that God's going to use to say, have no fear. Okay? Have no fear of what they might try to do to you. I'll just give you a quick background on me. I was a combat veteran. I am a combat veteran. I got in the Army, U.S. Army, when I was, the blue that you see on my glasses, by the way, I think is just from the cheers. So yeah, it's not like a cool glasses or anything. It's just cool cheers. At least, like, being a dude, they're like cool dude cheers. I don't know if like women would care for them, but like it'd be cool because like if God wants to send me like a really hot wife or something, that'd be like really neat. But anyway, don't care. Got enough problems. You know what they say? If they got or tires, they got problems, right? Well, I got a lot of tires, and I already got a bunch of problems. So I guess why not some more? Anyway, so I built this whole office. Really, we built this whole office, me and the guys that I own a body shop, and you know, this is just the play shop, and then you go over here, like the workshops over here, and then we've got more buildings that way, and you know, God's honestly blessed me a ton. To be honest with you, it's been a hell of a lot of work. To be really honest, I'm tired. I'm tired right now. I'm tired making the video. I'm tired also of watching all the things that are going on and none of us are talking about it. That's what I'm tired of the most, I think. And so I think it's because we all feel like we have too much to lose. When you have so many things to lose, you work so hard for them. It's hard to stand up against it all and say, well, you know, I'm actually pretty comfortable. We'll just see what happens, you know? My glasses are kind of crazy, glaring and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's easy to say, like, I don't want to lose all the things that I've worked hard for. And I don't want my family to go through any hardships that they don't need to. And we've all seen what the government can do. I was in it for 8 years. Like I was in Afghanistan with some of the coolest guys, I feel like, in the state of Missouri and all over the place, you know. But anyway, I was over there when I got in when I was 17. I was pretty much sent to Afghanistan about, I don't even think it was 2 years after I got in. So not much after that anyway. And I did split ops, so I went to boot camp between my junior and senior year of high school. And then I came back, did my senior year, and I took off from there basically. So long story short, but what I want to do is, you know, tell you guys, like, the biggest thing of all of this, I want to go over a bunch of different stuff. We're going to start talking about all the things we're watching. Spiritual stuff, absolutely. We're going to talk about that. The fact that you feel like you can't even talk about those things, maybe, because a lot of people freak out about it. Either it scares them, or they just don't believe and you're afraid to say anything about it. You know, I went through a long time of absolutely not believing, and I was like, I've tested God a million times. You think I didn't? Like, I was in combat zones, did quick reaction teams. Like, how you feel about me, I could care less, honestly. That being said, like, I want to create cohesion. Like, I want us to come together, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to, and I don't expect everyone to see everything the same way I do. I also don't think I'm right about everything. I've actually been wrong about quite a few things. So anything that I say, fact check it. It's fine. Put it in the comments if you don't like it. I may not read it. Someone might. I probably won't, to be honest with you. But I will be looking for things that you guys want to talk about. So, you know, if you're like, hey, I want to talk about Iran, I'm not afraid of talking about any of it. I actually know a lot more about Iran than I want to prior to all of the war stuff that's going on right now in 2026, January, March 2026, or 2026. Yeah, doesn't even sound right. So, so let's get started. Let's get this thing going. I also want you guys to know it won't just be me making the videos. I've got some. We go to the gym in the morning before we begin working in the body shop and things like that, and some of the guys that we go to the gym with are cool as hell, super good dudes. So we're all going to be a part of this. I don't need to be. Don't look at me like I'm somebody special. I don't think I am. I just got some text messages from my shop manager. I left my car seat. He's been borrowing my pickup, one of my pickups, because he's been getting his Jeep worked on. Anyway, I'll read that later. I didn't fully read it. I may have read it, but like I didn't pay attention to it. Does that make sense? Cool. So, just to kind of give you guys like a rundown on what my plan is we're going to try to stick to each video. We'll, like, if I say, hey, we're going to talk about Iran, I'll probably just put Iran, right? Again, I don't want to bring all this bad stuff on to me, my family, anyone around me, but I feel led to talk about these things and bring them to you, and, you know, use this information with a grain of salt. But, you know, a faith the size of a grain of salt can move a mountain. So if we all feel pretty passionate about like this certain situations, or like this many wars constantly and rumors of wars, does anybody else feel like we're kind of living in Revelations? Or do you think some people think that it's not necessarily Revelations, but they think that it's just happened a lot? Like Rome, the same thing happened with Rome. You know, it's probably happened throughout however long that the world's been here, or whatever civilizations. But if you're a Christian, you just really kind of go by the Bible and not whatever they come up with. Like, for instance, all the way through high school, they told me about how they would tell us all about how Hitler had done all these things, and I wasn't there, so I have no idea. But they worked very, very diligently. Certain companies that publish, you know, all of the school books, there's only like a couple that control all of the information that we were all getting. And I mean, you look back, like, imagine the amount of money they would have had to put into marketing against that whole thing. You wouldn't have to market something that is very true. You just don't. You really don't. Some of you guys are smart enough to see that. The truth doesn't have to be constantly marketed. It's there. And the truth's not always pretty either, and who knows exactly, but that's not what this whole video is about. It's not about Hitler. This is a for instance. Things we will be talking about. And so, but anything you guys want to have a conversation about, put it in the comments. I may not read them all, because I know people are kind of nasty sometimes, and that's fine. But whatever you feel, I don't care. This isn't for me. This is because God's telling me to, hey, do this. Like, this has got nothing to do with me. We need to be talking. We all know that someone needs to stand up and say, like, these things aren't right. And I think that there's quite a few people coming out and saying, like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Because this doesn't seem right. So that's what these videos are going to be about. I don't want them to be super long, but I just want to give you kind of an idea of what we're going to do on this channel. Whether you watch all this or not, it's all good. But we're going to start getting information on each one of these subjects that, honestly, myself and the rest of the guys, we talk about this like pretty much all day, more than we do business, honestly. Like, I bet you guys are doing the same thing. You know, like, you're getting up, you're going to work, and you're thinking, what the hell's going on? You know, or maybe a bunch of days you just feel like shit, and you're just like, why? Something's not right. Like, there's something that's a serious problem. And it's like, I feel that it's spiritual attacks. I 100% believe it's not flesh and blood, it's principalities. I believe that you have a spirit. I believe that I have a spirit. I believe that they don't want us speaking on it. And honestly, before I started making these videos, I started feeling that way really for no reason. Like, this year's been rough. And for what? Why? Because God's working through us, and I know that you guys you gotta feel it. You gotta be able to see there's something going on. So I feel like, and I hope that the further we go, the more we talk about things, everybody starts to get a little bit more peace. Like, you're not alone in what is going on, or how you're feeling about things. And I'm not the guy to sit there and talk about feelings and all this stuff, to be honest with you. Like, I was like an infantry guy. Like, I don't, I'm trying to keep it God as possible, but at the same time, kill, maim, and destroy was my day every day. And I'm not going to sit there. That's a duality of being a man on this earth. You have to be able to lead passionately with love and to do these things. And it's difficult, because on the other hand, you need to have a staff in your hand, a sword. Something destroys the things in front of you. If essentially, I feel that, and I know Jesus said that at one time he did say that if someone goes to hit you on the cheek, offer the other one, and that's 100% what happened. But God's doing something different. And when he comes back this time, do you think that it's going to be peachy? I don't think it's going to be peachy at all. I think it's going to be, you better run for the mountains. You better hide in the hills. And why do you think the rest of our government and all of these leaders are they're putting themselves in the ground, man? I mean, they've got tens of hundreds of thousands of safe places under the ground, full of food, full of old cars that can't be destroyed by EMPs and things like that. I bet a lot of you guys that prep and stuff, you probably do the same thing. We all are. So they can come from me, but there's a ton of us. It's just, you know what I'm saying. You get the point. So at the end of the day, they plan to hide out. They plan that if there's going to be an attack, they probably even know when the attack's going to be. I can tell you right now, from being active duty and doing those things, and just being an NCO in the Army and things like that, like, sometimes shit that the rest of the guys cannot know, because it'll fuck everything up. And they don't want us to know what's about to happen. They may know something's about to hit the ground right now, and they could be headed into their holes, but they're not going to tell us because they don't care about us. They don't want confusion, mass issues. They want to go to their holes, and they think they're gonna be safe in there. You're never gonna get away from God. It's written. He might let them set in there and set in fear for however long, but they're coming out of it. Honestly, it's also, I don't want you guys to live in fear whatsoever. Don't do that. Just grab your Bible, go talk to God. If you don't even like some of these videos, it starts to bother you. Just know that I'm not running frequencies in the background to try to get you to believe what I'm saying. I want you to question everything, but really just bring it right to go to Jesus. That's the only way into heaven is Jesus. I didn't even know that until a couple years ago, and I'm 39, maybe 3. I was like, yeah, everyone said, well, you just pray and, you're fine. No, that's actually why a lot of people say not all Christians will go to heaven, because they haven't necessarily said, you need to know Jesus. That is the guy that died for you. You don't have to, believe me. Look it up. And like I said, I played games with him in combat, especially when I got back over here. I'll tell you guys stories about it. One of them is I didn't want to be here anymore when I got back. Now, that being said, I am not suicidal whatsoever. And how sad is it that we have to say those things? Because we know our government has been Jeffrey Epstein and people, or whatever his damn name is. I think that's right. Sounds right. Jeffrey Epstein. Probably heard it a million times. That he didn't do it to himself. A lot of people want to know what's on that paperwork and whatever. I honestly just think it's a psyop. I think that they definitely were doing all those things, but it came out when it was supposed to. They sat on the paperwork long enough as they were supposed to, and they had all these other plans with Iran to just throw you off. That's just the way it is. So anyway, to be honest with you, when I decided we were going to start this channel, I wanted to have 30-second to 2-minute tops videos. But then I realized something. We're talking to grown people. We're talking to grown men. We're not making 30-second videos to try to keep the population, try to make you happy. I want everybody to be happy. There's no doubt about it. But that's not what this is about. This is about truth, and whoever's seeking it is going to find it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down and we're going to look at what's true, what is really going on, as far as we can humanly do that. Keep your mind open. I have to do the same thing. I have to keep my mind open. But I think we're all pretty tired of hearing people like Ben Shapiro, that I used to actually like. And he sits there and says that essentially your Messiah was really just another guy that he was just another guy that said there was God, and then he got killed, and now he's boiling in excrement. Come on, dude. He's Shapiro, synagogue of Satan. Synagogue of Satan. Acting as if he's a Jew, a real Jew, that does believe in Jesus, but he does not. And I actually think, honestly, I do think there are Jews out there that are not like that. Because whenever they came to kill Jesus, when they did do those things, some of the Jews, not all of them, the ones that wanted to stay in power, didn't care if he rose or not, because anybody that paid attention to that better leave, or they were going to kill him, because they didn't lose their power. But a lot of Jews that did see it, when you see something and you know God's saying get away from it or whatever it is, you flee from it. You flee from it right away. And that's what some of those Jews did, and they did flee from it. They got away from it, and they did believe, because they saw Jesus actually came back from the dead, dude. And honestly, not that long ago, they try to put this human existence thing into the millions of years or whatever it is that they claim science is, but that's just to completely throw off the scheme of reality. Maybe we have been, and it has actually been. The fact that Jesus died 2,000 years ago, maybe they have been. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to dig into this stuff as much as we possibly can. If you guys have information you want to throw on there, send it to me. I'm open to it. I may read it and I say, no, that's not something I'm interested in. So I'm discerning on what we're going to be looking at. If it's ignorant, I'm not, obviously. Now, I may say, this person thinks this. What do you guys think? And then I might say, this is what I think. You draw your conclusion. I'm going to stay as mostly biased to a lot of the information as possible. So anyway, that's enough ranting and raving for me for a minute. I'll get this uploaded, and then we will start doing some more research. All right, so I think it's St. Pat's Day weekend. You guys be careful. It's great time for the enemy to try to fog your brain with alcohol and ignorant stuff. Me saying that, just I hope that if one person does not get a DWI or something stupid over it, then it was worth saying. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys, we'll talk to you soon.